Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another lazy show where we teach you AutoCAD in a way that is more productive so you can stop wasting your time. As always, we're going to start reading some of your comments in a moment. But for folks that are new to these live streams, my name is Irving and I show up here each Sunday at 10 a.m. and that is Pennsylvania in the United States time with a new way again to save you a little bit of time, right? Working in AutoCAD. So let's jump to the chat. Our friend Duke is on the chat, says, "Good day, all. Hey, Irving, hope all is doing well. Hey, Douglas, happy to have you here, my friend. As always, as each Sunday, you are consistent with the live streams. I really appreciate that. So, today we have an interesting subject or topic. We're going to discuss um, 5 of the gears as a designer that I use to simplify my life, right? And hopefully these tools, these gears are also going to help you, right? To be more efficient. And yeah, so let me start getting ready over here. Let's see. Okay. Again, we're doing all of this live. So that's the beauty of doing this, so we can have that interaction, right? Okay. All right. Okay, so let's start. If, as always, if you are new to these live streams, what I like to do is I'm gonna present, and then of course I'm gonna give you a moment to ask your questions. Of course, you can stop me at any time, right, during my presentation, because that's again the beauty of doing all of this live. We have Martin on the chat. Hey, Martin. I'm glad you are here with us today live. We're gonna start talking in a moment about some of the most useful CAD gears that I use, right, to make my work more efficient, right, and hopefully they are also gonna help you. Douglas says, "Hey, Martin, I'm glad that you guys are talking to each other now. That's awesome. That simply means our community is getting stronger now, right? So that's great. Um, okay, so let me again start getting ready over here on my second screen to do the presentation. Uh, okay, we have a couple more comments on the chat. Let me read it in a moment. Okay, let's see. It's our friend SSS. If you can give us your real name, that would be great. Can you give suggestions for freshers? You mean for people? What do you mean by freshers? Sorry. Um, Martin says, "Hey, H and Douglas, good week." Yeah, hope you guys had a great week. So we're gonna wrap up today's weekend right with this presentation. Martin's Douglas says, "Martin, yes, good week. Hope you had a good one also." That's great, guys. That you are talking. SSS, I mean AutoCAD beginners. Oh yeah. So you SSS, you're asking any suggestions? Um, I mean, For beginners, I will say depends what are you trying to achieve, right? For instance, if you are trying to learn AutoCAD to find a job in an office, right, or something like that, what I'll suggest is to to I mean, you have two options, right? The first one is the free option, which is to learn AutoCAD by yourself on your own, watching YouTube tutorials online on YouTube and so on. That's of course the free alternative, but also is the long way, right? The hardest alternative because you won't have any guidance or any help. The other one is if you can afford it, you can of course enroll to a college or something like that to take some drafting classes, right? Um, Now, if you go for the free alternative of learning by yourself, one of the best suggestions that I can give you, and of course a quick suggestion because this question can be for an entire live stream, but one of the best suggestions that I can give you if you want to learn by yourself AutoCAD is to find a specific channel that is related to your field, right? For example, if you are a civil designer, don't watch tutorials um, of how to learn AutoCAD as an architectural designer, right? Because there are different tools that you might need. So again, depending on your field, if you want to be into engineering, architecture, and so on, so find a channel, let's say a YouTube channel. Our YouTube channel focus mostly in architecture, right? So because I work as an architectural designer, so again, if you want to learn AutoCAD by yourself, try to find a channel that is related to your field, and then you can learn more efficiently, right? So that would be my best quick tip for you. SSS. Douglas says, learn a command a day. Yeah, that's another good suggestion, Douglas. um, yeah, so that means you have to be consistent, right? Like another problem that I see for beginners is they try to learn everything in one day, right, or in 2 days, but that's not the right way, because if you do that, you're gonna overwhelm yourself. So try to learn, let's say, 10 to 15 minutes each day, Monday through Friday, right? 15 days of learning. And if you do that, that's the best way to learn AutoCAD. But again, keep consistent. Dropout Engineers on the chat says, hello, sir. Hi, Dropout. Happy to have you here as always. I'm glad that you're here, my friend, and hope you and your family are doing great, right? Dropout Patel. Here we go. Your name is Patel. Here we go. All right. So I think if there are no more questions, we're gonna get ready over here to start the presentation, right? Okay. SSS says thank you. Hey, yeah, SSS. Hopefully, um, Douglas suggestion and also my suggestion maybe help you to, better learn AutoCAD. I know it's hard, right? It's tough. When you are just starting, there is so much information out there, right? You might get overwhelmed really easy. So that's what my best suggestion is. Depending on your field, whether it's architecture, engineer, mechanical, electrical, I don't know your field, but find a specific channel whose um, who the person who does these videos is related to your field. Again, that's the best way to learn AutoCAD. And then, of course, once you already know AutoCAD, then you can start watching any channel, right? Any YouTube channel to get some tips and more advanced knowledge. But to first start learning, again, focus on your specific field. Dropout says, yes, Patel. Um, Douglas says, it's for sure overwhelming. Yeah. And SSS, I don't know what's your field again, but if you are in the architecture field, I believe this is the best channel to learn AutoCAD. We even, again, the reason why I think this is the best channel to learn AutoCAD if you are in the architecture field is because our mission or our goal here is to make your life easier, right? So that's our mission in whatever we do, even when we teach AutoCAD, our main focus is on making your life easier. So, and since we like to do that, again, I don't know if you are in the architectural field, but we have, if you are, we even have a path or a roadmap that you can start. Let me see if I can share it with you mm, really quick. Mm, okay. Okay, let's see. Let's see. So, let's see if I can quickly find what you are looking for. No. Let's see. Here we go. My beginner's guide on learning AutoCAD. So here we go again. Only if you are into architecture, I would say to you can use this, um, because again, when you are just learning, you need to focus on your specific field. So again, for people who are into architecture, I believe this is the best way to learn AutoCAD. I even make your life easier to start with something with a tutorial, of course, very easy, and then continue to learn, or as you progress with these three different courses for beginners, again, total beginners. So yeah. All right. So let's see. Um, we have a comment on the chat. Abdul says, "Are you teach about electrical work in AutoCAD?" No, my friend. My background or the field that I am is architecture. So I'm an architectural designer right now. Of course, working to be a licensed architect. Right, that's my goal. Um, so yeah, but I'm not into electrical. Of course, if you already know AutoCAD, right, you are not a beginner. It doesn't matter. You can just consume any content. You're gonna learn useful tips, useful techniques, and you're also gonna keep up to date with the latest commands and tools of AutoCAD, right? So again, it all depends, my friend Abdul. Two classes. It used to be accredited. Not sure if it still is. Um, Accredited. Are you referring to? What are you referring to with accredited, my friend Douglas? Um, we have 12 people connected live. That's awesome. Right, so I guess we're gonna start the presentation. All right. Our friend Duke says, "You missed my comment ahead of this." I did. Let's see. Mm, I don't see it, my friend. I don't see your command. I mean, I don't see your comment. All right, so let's start. Okay, let me get ready over here. All right, as always, you can interrupt me at any moment during my presentation with your questions, suggestions, ideas, or so on, right? So let me. All right, let's do this, guys. Okay. All right. Again, hello, guys. Today, I'll be sharing 5 gears or tools that has significantly improved my efficiency as a CAD designer. These tools not only made my work easier, but also helped me avoid health problems. So I strongly believe everyone can learn something valuable from my experience with these CAD tools. All right, so let's get started. So the first CAD gear is this laptop right here. So this is a Lenovo laptop, and I learned about Lenovo from my classmates at the university actually, when I was, of course, studying architecture. So at that time, I researched different models of Lenovo's. However, they were very expensive, right? But I was determined to find a more affordable Lenovo that could help me, do all of the architectural work at the university. So after, some research, I found this laptop right here. Again, it's a Lenovo. So of course, I needed this laptop to, run all of my architecture programs such as AutoCAD, of course, Revit, and more. So, however, if there was only one thing that I didn't like about this laptop was the battery, right? It didn't last as much as I expected it. But again, that was one minor thing because the power of this laptop was very powerful. So that's why I didn't care about this minor thing about the battery. So of course, this investment that I did in my school, it was a great investment because after I graduated as an architect, as you can see right here, um, my degree, I keep using this laptop every day, right? It's a very convenient way to have it again as a CAD designer. Um, so, yeah, hopefully, my story about uh, this laptop, can help you decide to pick a good laptop. Of course, um, I think I have small. But any CAD designer needs also a laptop, right? That flexibility of taking this mobile device or tool to any place and do your work. It's you cannot miss that ability, right? All right, so let's now jump to the chat and see whether you have a question or not about this laptop. Again, one of the best CAD tools that you can have as a designer. So let's see over here. Lewis is on the chat. Hey, Lewis. Happy to have you here as always, my friend Lewis. You are very active with the channel, and that's great. I love that. You're always asking questions or leaving your suggestions on any of our video comments, and that's great. Lewis says, I've been using Lenovo T series for over 7 years now. Great machines. Yeah, I mean, Lewis, that's awesome that you can share your experience also with all of our community here. Again, the idea of today's live stream is about sharing my 5 gears or tools that I personally use, right? And that I can recommend as a CAD designer, of course, right? And like I was explaining, I didn't know about Lenovo at all, right? I discovered it when I was in the architecture school. And of course, they were very expensive, um, but I found a more affordable Lenovo. It's very cheap, actually, this one, comparing to the other ones. But again, it does the job. So, yeah, I'm very happy with this Lenovo laptop. Uh, all right. So let's see if there are more questions before we move to the second tool or gear that I want to share with you guys. So let's see. Uh, which laptop do you guys use? Douglas, do you even use a laptop? I mean, like I was explaining, I do have a desktop PC or computer, but again, having that flexibility of doing my work in any other location, right? But just grabbing the laptop, and that's a something that I like to do. I like to have, right? Okay. So let's see. We have another comment on the chat. 2 classes, 2 desktops, and 3 laptops. Wow. Wow, my friend, that's a lot. I only have one laptop and also one desktop. Of course, I have 3 monitors right here, right? Uh, but no, oh, my friend, Duke. Uh, so thank you for sharing, Duke. All right, so let's move. I guess we are ready to move to the next gear that we need as a CAD designers. So, and this would be, let's see over here, a mouse. So, yes, as a CAD designer, you definitely need a good mouse, right, that you can rely on. So, this year, of course, I'm glad and I'm thankful for my improved health at work, right? But it hasn't always been this way. In the past, I experienced significant finger pain and, of course, for prolonged use of a mouse, right? So, despite this pain, of course, I continue working, because I have a family uh, with 2 kids that depend on myself, right? But I started feeling better, of course, after switching my mouse, right, to not this mouse, of course, a regular mouse like this one, right? So I started, feeling better when I switched to my left hand, right, instead of my right hand to release some of that finger pain. Um, but after 3 months, just when it seems that my finger was healing, right, I encountered a new problem. I wasn't productive using, of course, my left. And after some research testing, oops, after testing different mouse, I found this one. This is a Logitech mouse, right? As you are seeing right here, and maybe I can also show it to you. on my screen. So this is a mouse I found after some research again, and it's an ergonomic mouse that allowed me to, of course, use my right hand again. But of course, only after taking a couple of months to rest it. And I believe it's because the mouse's design encourages clicking with the entire finger, right, rather than just the tip of my finger. So of course, after struggling with pain for a couple of years, I finally regained my professional productivity, um, and that was a huge help, of course. So looking back to those bad years, so I like to, of course, share my story, so it can help other folks, maybe as you, so you can avoid this type of finger problems, right? So yeah, again, this is the mouse. It's an ergonomic mouse, and of course, I was forced to find this mouse because again, my finger problems. So hopefully, getting an ergonomic mouse like this one or any other can also help you avoid health problems, right? So let me jump to the chat now. Stop here and see what do you think about mouse in general, right? What type of mouse do you use? Um, do you use a mouse like this, or an ergonomic mouse like this, or maybe since you are feeling well, you believe you're not gonna have any finger problems? So yeah, let's see. Let's see. Let me read some of these comments on the chat before we jump to the next cat gear or tool. Right. So put your comment or your question on the chat, and I'm gonna read it in a second. All right. So let's see if there are comments or questions. Two classes, two desktops, and I think I already read this comment. All right. Um, our friend Duke says Razor Ballistic Ultimate Mouses. Whoa, that sounds very interesting, my friend. Razor Ballistic. Yeah, anybody else wants to share what mouse are you using as a CAD designer? That would be awesome to learn from each other again. So yeah, thank you for sharing that, Douglas, with everyone. Douglas says 3D connection for 3D stuff. All right. So what program do you use to do 3D, Douglas? Do you also use AutoCAD? That's something interesting to know. All right. So let's keep moving. So I'm gonna. All right. Let's keep moving, guys. So the third. Let's see. So the third gear as a CAD designer that I want to share with you is a desk, right? This is so important. And, I wanted a different desk some time ago because, sitting all day was hurting my back. So I needed something that would let me sit or stand as I liked. So I looked at various standing desks, and there was an electrical desk that was, tempting me because, it was easy to adjust, but it cost more money, and of course, it could break more easily. So then I decided for this manual desk that was cheaper and simpler, and of course, making it stronger and less likely to have issues, right? So this is the desk, of course, it's a white desk, and you know, I bought this, and of course, because one of the main reasons why I bought this standing desk was because I was having back problems, right? So sitting for so many hours, first at the architecture office where I work, and then going to school again for so many hours. So again, I decided for this standing desk, and now sometimes you have to put into balance, right? Simplicity, durability, is that more important for you than fancy features like electric features, right? So it's all up to you. But for me, again, I went for simplicity, for the simplicity of this desk, and of course, it gives me the flexibility, right, to be standing up like right now, right here, or whenever I decide, I can also sit, right? So yeah, so let me jump to the chat uh, to see what do you think about a standing desk like this, right? Do you think it's gonna be helpful to you? Let's see. Let's see what do you guys think. Our friend Douglas says AutoCAD Architectural and Chief Architect and SketchUp Pro. Oh, okay, yeah. So that's what I thought, my friend, that you might use a different program for your 3D work. And yes, you use Chief Architect, SketchUp. Yep, that's nice or interesting to know, my friend. Duke. Douglas says, I love those desks. Having, says, having cabinet shop. Oh wow, wow, that's the next level, my friend. So you did your own desk. Yeah, I don't. I mean, that's that's great, my friend. You could do that. Um, oh, if I remember, you used to work as a contractor, right, Duke? Yeah. So now it makes sense, right? Why you built your own desk. Let's see. Our friend Lewis says, never worked standing. Here we go, Lewis. I mean, I'll never thought about working standing either, but I was forced somehow. You can see some of these cat gadgets that I'm sharing. It wasn't because I wanted to change, it was because I was forced to. Like, first, the mouse, right? Like I was having problems with the tip of my finger. So that's what I found this mouse where now I can somehow press the button with my entire finger, right? Instead of just the little tip from a regular mouse, right? um, so, and again, the standing is was because I was having some back problems of being sitting for so many hours. So then now I can, work standing or work sitting. Doesn't matter. I can decide, and I like to have that flexibility. But yeah, Lewis says, Douglas says, yes, a GC for 40 years. Wow, that's a lot, my friend. 40 years of being a GC or a general contractor. So yeah. Two classes I stand when I do on site as builds. Okay, yeah, sure. We also do on site as builds, Douglas, but again, those you don't do it often, right? It's just very rarely that you do those, and then most of the time you are sitting. Lewis says, I can understand the need. Yeah, That's right, Lewis. All right, so let's keep moving with the next CAD gear that I like to share with you that I think is going to be important to work efficient as a CAD designer. And this would be um, a chair, right? So the story with my chair is that after spending, $150 on chairs every year, I decided to invest in a better chair that would last me longer. So, and then I discovered this chair, by accident again. One day when I sat in a chair at the architectural office where I work, and then I loved it and, checked about the brand, but it was quite expensive. And, after doing some research, I realized that if this chair could last me 10 years, which again, it's been already 2 years, then it would pay for itself, right? So, again, although it was a significant upfront cost, I've been comfortable sitting in this chair for more than 2 years already, and I still believed I made the right decision. So here's the chair again that I use. Um, so so yeah, so yeah. Let's see what you guys think about having a good chair. Do you think it's important or not as a CAD designer? Let me know your thoughts on the chat. Okay. All right. Let's see. Let's see what you guys um, think about this specific tool or gadget. I mean, tool or gear. um, Two glasses. What brand is that? I'm in the market for a new chair. Duke, this is a steel case chair. That's the brand steel case. And again, I found it by accident. I will never ever um, find this chair, right? If I didn't had this architectural job. So yeah, again, some of these gears are things that I found by accident. Again, the the laptop, the Lenovo brand, I discovered it from one of my classmates. The chair I discovered thanks to an architectural job. But yeah, it's a steel case, my friend. That's the brand. Two glasses, very important. More comfort means more productivity. Yes, that's another good reason, my friend. Uh, for me, uh, for me, it was the fact that I was spending a lot of money each year. Right, I was buying these cheap chairs from 120 to $150. I think I bought it on Staples or Office Chair. I don't know from where I bought it, but one of those. And then each year by December, the chair was all, had different scratches and something. Sometimes because I used to put my wallet um, on my back pocket of my pants, and then when you sit there on a cheap chair, then it gets really bad really quick. So I run the numbers and say, well, if I can have these chairs for 10 years, it's been 2 years already, then the chair can, it's kind of the same, right? Let's see. Two classes. Been using game chairs. They are so gamer chairs. And the thing about gamer chairs, Duke, is I mean, I did my research, right? And yes, I was also looking about gamers chairs, and the good thing about those is that they look beautiful, right? It looks very nice. And the chair, I was about to get one of those chairs, the gaming chairs, because again, they look very cool. But for me, it was more important sitting comfortable than looking nice on the screen, because again, I'm not a gamer, right? I'm a professional designer. And yeah, so again, it's personal preference. My friend says wallet in pocket, no wonder you have a backpack. I mean, that was sometimes, right? It wasn't always, but if you do that on a cheap chair, forget it, you're gonna damage it so quick. But now with this one though, I've been sitting here for 2 years on this chair, had no problem so far. So I'm hoping 8 more years of using this chair. And you know, again, it's not a cheap chair. This is expensive chair, but I made the switch, and I believe it was the right decision. Okay, so let's move with the next gear. All right, so let me get ready over here. Okay. Let's see, we have another comment. Douglas says, 8 years, your wallet will get fatter. I don't know about that, my friend. Hopefully, yeah, hopefully. uh, all right. So let's see over here. So the number 5 cat gear or tool that I can recommend is a laser. Yes. And this laser or measurement laser, I discovered this tool while working as an architectural designer. So, I tried other affordable brands at my job. I mean, I tried other affordable brands, but once I used this laser at my job, I knew I had to get one for myself, and I did. So, its precision, speed, and durability were some of the features that motivated me to invest on this measurement laser. And to this day, I'm still happy with it. So you can see right here, that's the laser. The brand is Leica. Um, and again, it's right here. You can see it. Again, I used other brands, but this feels so comfortable, sturdy, and it does the job very, very efficiently. So that's why I love this laser. And as a CAD designer, we all go to do site surveys, right, on the field. And having a nice technology like this where you can get measurements of everything really quick and precisely, you need to have that option, right? So yeah, what do you guys think about this gear? Let me now jump to the chat, see what do you think. Have you used any other measurement laser, or are you still using a regular measuring tape? Let's see. Let's see. Two classes. Yes. What do you mean by AH, my friend? Someone I have. No, same one I have. Oh wow, you have the same, dude? That's great. So you have the same exact brand or laser? That's awesome. I mean, that simply means that this is a good tool to have. Again, I can only share something that I personally use, right? Why I'm gonna recommend something that I never tried and I know or I don't know if it's a good gear. But Douglas, you're saying that you use the same. That's awesome. What was your experience, Duke? Lewis says, I also work with similar tools. Awesome, Lewis. Yeah, I mean, as a CAD designer, if you want to step up, right, and be a professional or call yourself or even feel yourself as a professional, you need to invest on some of these tools, right? Again, it's a necessity. You can go on a building and quickly measure the entire building, very quick, very efficiency. I mean, very efficient. So yeah. Douglas says, do you use the software from Leica for as-built? Healthy is another good one. I tried. Yes, I did try it, my friend Duke. But I mean, that's a topic for an entire live stream, my friend. How to use this tool the right way, the more efficient way. What Douglas is talking about is, so you can understand, right, what's going on here is that this specific laser has a Bluetooth functionality. I don't know if you can see it, but maybe you can. No. Anyway, so this has a Bluetooth functionality that with a software on your computer, you can measure things and the software will, um, let's say, will draw these walls on the computer, right? With the specific size that you just got from this. And again, this is a very advanced and efficient way to draw buildings, walls, and so on. So I guess we might even do a video about that if there are people interested on this subject. Just let me know. And yeah, Douglas says, "Oh yes." Douglas says, "Same exact one." Uh, yeah, I'm glad, Douglas, that we somehow have the same cat gear tools. That's awesome, dude. That's awesome. All right, gonna put this right here. Douglas says, I did an as built that another architect had done. He measured with rulers. I did it with laser. I came up with a 2 feet difference in building overall measurements. Whoa, dude, 2 feet difference? That's a big number right there, my friend. Especially if there is a leasing involvement and so on. When you're leasing a building, you pay for every little area. So yeah, that's another great feature of using measurement lasers, right? The precise, like the accuracy, right, of your dimensions, of your measurements. um Douglas says, was costing landlord a bunch of money. Yeah, that's what I just explained, my friend. Especially if there is some leasing involvement with this specific building. That's where the problem comes, right? All right, my friends. Let's. Those were the five CAD gears or CAD tools that I personally use and maybe I can recommend to you, not only to work more efficient, but also avoid some of these health issues, right? That I personally faced. Um, so yeah, so let me jump to the chat to read some of your last comments, right? See what you guys, maybe you have a different suggestion for another CAD gear that I'm missing, or I don't know. It's your time now to ask your questions or talk about anything that you want to talk, right? um, so let's see right here. Lewis says lasers are way more accurate for sure. Yeah, Lewis. I mean, and now they're not even that expensive anymore. Now, when I bought this, probably bought this 3 years ago, and yes, it was expensive, right? This one specifically. For me, I mean, at that time, right? Um, But now I just saw this again online, and it's almost half the price that it was 3 years ago. So, wow, it's very cheap now. I would say it's cheap now. So yeah. Anyway, so let's see if there are more comments before we wrap up today's live stream, right? We went over those five. Of course, there are more tools or gears that we can share here, right? But I just wanted to focus on the top five, right? My top five at least: a computer or a good laptop, good mouse, a good chair, a good desk, and a good measurement tool, right? Uh, so let's see. I feel a little strange that today we didn't even had to open AutoCAD at all. Right? Because this is a channel about AutoCAD, right? But every once in a while it's good to kind of do this type of content, I guess. See how do you guys enjoy it. Of course, if you don't like this type of content, I might stop doing it, right? We'll see. But again, this is something kind of new that we're doing, right? I think it's for well, it's the second time, I believe. The first type of video about this kind of content is the one that I did for a mouse that I was recommending. But this is the second time we do this type of content. Our friend Lewis says, I've personally added his second keyboard, these pads with 15 buttons. Whoa, that's a more advanced tool, my friend. Yeah, that would be interesting to know. If you can email me or send send me an email with your tool. I might check it out. Right, I'm open to invest on the gears or tools that can make my life easier. Right, that's my mission or the way I like to work. Douglas says your lockup. What do you mean your lockup? Um, Douglas says, or is it me? You mean the screen? Uh, I put macros on each key to automate my workflow. Whoa, you're talking about macros here. So we have so many macro commands on the channel that we created, right? Let's see if you can see my screen. Yep. Let's see. Home or playlist. So you're for people again who don't know what our friend Lewis is talking about, macros are simply quick commands that they are custom commands, right? That we can create inside AutoCAD, and to automate some repetitive task, right? And we've been creating macros for so many years already. We have more than 40 maybe, right? And our friend is saying that he put macros on each key to automate workflow. Whoa, you're talking about your keyboard pad, right? That's interesting. I will be interested on trying that, Lewis. um so yeah, let's see. Let's see. Yeah, I mean, so far what I do, Lewis, is I use the tool palette to have my macro commands right there. That's what I do so far. It works fine for me, but definitely if I can try a keyboard with different buttons to automate my workflow, I'm willing to try it to see the difference. uh Douglas having multiple monitors are a good investment. Main monitor for drawing, others are for menus, etc. Yeah, that's another, good investment and another cat gear that I could mention here today, right? Um, so yeah, Douglas. I mean, I have three monitors right now. This front one is the one that I use to open AutoCAD, right? When we do our AutoCAD tutorials. Then, of course, I have this other monitor where I can have the live stream screen so I can put your comments, read your comments, and so on. And right on this third monitor, I can have my Windows Explorer with my files or so on. So, yeah, I mean, it's very helpful. Uh, Martin, is Irving locked up? Um, all right, guys, I think I'm gonna stop right here. It was nice to, to talk about these cat gears. Um, and hopefully you found, value out of this presentation. And um, so, yeah, let me know if you have questions. You can put it on any of our videos, right? Martin says, lock up. Yeah, maybe it's your computer, Douglas. I mean, Martin, you can see me moving, right? Oh, let's see. Martin, Martin says, seems good to me. All right, guys, that's awesome. Um, Douglas says, YouTube is frozen by me. All right, guys, again, it was great today to meet with you. And next Sunday, we're gonna have a private live stream with our members. So if you are a supporter of our shows, right, you can join that. If not, I will see you next Sunday, of course, as always, with another AutoCAD live stream. All right. Okay, guys, have a wonderful rest of the week, my friend. Happy Thanksgiving, my friend. I forgot.